Hey, this is Jeff and Danielle with Final Boss Editing. So we're going to look at the scripts from the 168 film festival competition. So it's a just kind of a fun, simple competition where people have 7 days to write a 12-page or so script. So I'm probably going to enter it in the next few days. So it's faith-based, so I figured it'd be fun to see how the scripts turned out, what kind of competition I'm up against, and then also just kind of have some fun, good short strips, because short stories and short strips are a lot of fun. So we're going to look over the 2014 winners, and we'll see what we find. So the first place last year was The Tall Grass. A man obsessed with his neighbor's grass finally does something about it. Greg Gerald's in Indiana. In 1863, a slave shows both North and South what it means to be free. A self-centered scientist races to stop a spreading plague. Alright, I think those are the three we chose, right?
Mm-hmm, the top three.
So I may read in order of interest, which may be Tall Grass because it's first place. Scientist, and then if we're not too sleepy, to live free. Sound good? Alright. Bam. So, can you read everything okay? Or?
Yes.
Okay. Alright, so I'll go ahead and turn off the window capture here. If you guys have any comments, feedback, whatever, feel free to put them in the comments bar. We have it pulled up. And then if you like screenplay reviews, click follow, and you can hear when we're going to do more of these, because it's always fun to learn how to write better by editing.
I'm gonna see if I
An update.
follow it.
Yeah, she follows the channel. She's a fan. Yeah, just went live. Nice.
Cool.
It's good. Anyways, so yeah, let's get in to The Tall Grass. So there are the notes on the side. And this is by 14 numbers. I think that's probably the submission code.
Is this the quote?
Yeah, I think this is like their formatted title page or whatever, so it's not like if it's one of your friends, you don't figure it out. Okay, the exterior Spencer home day. The houses lie in a quiet street like an unzipped zipper. This is where middle management comes home to eat, sleep, and spray their lawns. The Spencer Ranch home sits at the end of the street. Birds are singing. The sun shines bright. It's a beautiful morning. Yeah, I think it's a good P1. A little bit overly poetic, but I think it's okay at the beginning of the story to set the tone. A bit heavy on the abstract. Okay, this early to set tone. You just wouldn't want to see too much stuff like
the unzipped zipper.
Or those images are okay, but it's like usually where it's like where middle management comes home to eat. Like I don't know how to visualize that. Like I can kind of see like imagery is good, and this is kind of what at least people have told me, whether or not it's true or whatever. Like imagery is good, where it's like an unzipped zipper. I can see that. I know what the houses look like. But where like middle management comes home to eat and sleep, what does that look like? Middle management coming home to eat and sleep can look a lot different depending on where you're at. So that's a harder one. I think it's okay. Like I think I get the picture. It's like some kind of suburbia, like paradise. But yeah, that would be my page one thing. Amy Spencer, her brown hair just touching the shoulders of her modest dress, holds her purse and a Bible next to her, the family minivan. Next to her is Jenny Spencer, long ponytail, oversized t-shirt, proud of her pink Converse shoes, and Bart Spencer, 10, studious. They watch and wait. The front yard. Franklin Spencer, dressed like a bigger version of his son, only with product keeping his hair perfectly in place, walks through his leafless, weedless yard that he keeps at just the right shade of green. His hands behind his back, head down, searching. He has a plastic bag in one of his hands. Franklin, come on, we'll be late. Franklin keeps searching. Then he spots it. Aha, I knew it! He steps over to his find, reaches down with his bagged hand, and scoops up a pile of dog poop. He holds the bag over his head triumphantly at the minivan. Can't we just leave him? Why does Dad get so excited about poop? Amy sighs, opens the minivan door. Your dad has issues. Amy gets in the minivan. Kids follow. I think so. Wait, good start. P1. Good start. Character with unhealthy. We know, like, that's something we know he's gonna have to overcome this issue at some point in the story. So that's good. Like, your dad has issues is a bit on the nose. Like, this is kind of like, it's a bit like the bored kid. Like, oh, come on, Dad. Your dad's so crazy. Like the mom. Like, that would be my one thing is, like, the dialogue is a bit. I mean, this is like the exact type of dialogue I would expect for, not very typical, but it's maybe like a bit on the nose. This is what I'd expect.
I feel like it kind of fits though because of the tone. Like,
Yeah.
Because it's like a suburban neighborhood, and they're like fitting already kind of like on the nose of just like this perfect little like white family. You know, like on this, like it seems okay to me.
Okay, cool.
But I can see that.
Because on the nose. Franklin steps up to the front porch of his neighbor's house, bag of poop in hand, and knocks. Good conflict. As he starts to knock again, the door opens. Mr. Richardson, 70s, a short man with thin gray hair, thick glasses, and still in a bathrobe, sticks his head out. Mr. Richardson, hello. Franklin holds up the bag of poop. Hello, Mr. Richardson. Your dog left something on my yard, and I thought you might like it back. Again, that would probably be my another on the nose dialogue, where that could be like, you left something in my yard. Like, that's, the 3-line piece there, and I don't know if that's, I think that's the first thing we've heard. Well, no, he said a few things before. But, like, yeah, a little heavy dialogue. And, like, obviously, people write these in a week, so it's okay to have not perfect dialogue, but those are just the one thing that I'm seeing. But the structure looks really good. Just, Mr. Richardson holds his bag. Look at the Franklin holds his bag out to him without changing his expression. Mr. Richardson takes the bag. You're welcome. Franklin turns and begins to march away, then stops, looks at Mr. Richardson's overgrown lawn. And if you need to borrow some gas money for your lawnmower, I'd be glad to lend you some. Franklin marches off without waiting for a reply. Okay, have a nice day. Franklin doesn't look back. You two be mowing your grass. Franklin gets into the minivan and slams the door too hard. Amy and Jenny and Bart all jump. Why? Maybe if you close it harder, you'll scare the dog and it'll never poop again. That's enough. Why?
Why did he slam it?
Why?
Like he slammed it. Why? I don't know.
Okay,
Maybe.
yeah, okay.
That's what I got.
I just maybe P3 is clarity. Shouldn't have enough. Shouldn't have to do that, I know and you don't. I shouldn't have to do that, I know and you don't. Okay, that's good. What do you mean I don't? The man's dog is pooping in our yard. Let's just go. We don't want to be late. Franklin looks at her, pauses. Did you see his yard? And I had to tell him to cut it. Of course. He puts the key in the ignition. It won't go in. He pushes, he pulls, he twists, he pushes. What's wrong with this thing? He jerks around the heart so hard the car is shaking. Amy sees the problem, reaches for the keys, but he's thrashing around so much it's like trying to catch a wet fish. Stop. It won't go in. Well, stop. The car won't work without the keys. Just stop. She wrestles the keys from him, holds them up. You can't start the car with the house keys. It looks like they have some interesting marital, very tense marriage. Will this be resolved? Can't start the car with a house key. Oh, Jenny snorts. Franklin impatiently takes the keys from Amy. He starts the minivan and they pull out. Cars fill the parking lot in church. No people to be seen. Okay. Spencer's minivan pulls in and parks. Franklin, Amy, and Bart get out the church. and sprint. Okay, so this is good. Showing, not telling. We realize they're late. So this is a great example of showing, not telling. Great example. Page 4. Great example of showing they're late and not saying. Spencer minivan pulls into the driveway. The kids pile out and run into the house. Amy steps out and starts for the house, then notices Franklin staring at something. What is it? How hard is it to keep it mowed? Really? Franklin shakes her head. Disgust? It's just misspelling. I think that's supposed to be his head. Oh, but no, maybe that's Amy shakes her head with disgust. I don't know.
No, I think probably him. Yeah, probably his. Unless he goes like this to her.
Well, no, yeah.
Shake her head.
Disgustedly. Shake that face. Yeah. Yeah, also feel free to comment if you have notes or thoughts on the screenplay. Also, if you want to see where these came from, I'll put the link in chat, or even on the top of the screen. Swoop. Okay. Spencer minivan pulls into the driveway. The kids pile out and run into the house. Steps out. What is it? How hard is it to keep it mowed, really? Okay. Oh, so I guess they got back. Okay. Mm-hmm. I'm going to talk to him when he gets home.
Wait, we missed that whole chunk of...
Oh.
Yeah.
You know, one of the best things about going to church is that for a short period of time, you aren't worried about dog poop or grass or how loud the guy across the street is. Even if you are faking it, it's nice. A beat. I'm going to talk to him when he gets home. No, don't. It's a matter of principle. We shouldn't have to live next to that. It doesn't bother me. It should. Amy sighs and walks off. The dining room looks like it was plucked off an IKEA showroom floor. Franklin and Jenny sit at the table eating lunch. Bart is playing with some action characters. An untouched sandwich sits in front of him. Bart! Oh, whoa. Bumps down. Bart, eat your sandwich. Bart pretends one of his characters is talking. The Bible says I'm free to not eat tuna anymore. The Bible says you don't have to eat tuna. That is correct. Franklin looks at Jenny for help. We studied Galatians today. I think it was like Galatians 5 or something where it talks about being called to freedom. Miss Templeton said a lot of people use that verse as an excuse to do what they want. You think your brother is misusing scripture so he doesn't have to eat a tuna sandwich? Jenny shrugs. They both look at Bart. He stares back, eyes shifting between his dad and his sister. Eat your tuna. Aw, man. Seems kind of random? I don't know. Doesn't seem... I mean, that's part of the challenge of working with the prompt, is you kind of have to fit the prompt in.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like the smoothest tie-in of the prompt. Doesn't have anything to do with grass.
Maybe it'll like come back again. Like
that grass. That fresh cut grass.
Yeah.
Meow. Oh, okay. Jenny shrugs. They both look at Bart. He stares back, shifting between his dad and his sister. Eat your tune. Aw, man. Bart pulls out his toys and eats a bike. Franklin looks at the window and notices a car in Richardson's driveway. When did he get home? He jumps from the table. Time to take care of this once and for all. Didn't you just talk to him this morning? Franklin is sliding on his shoes and heading out the door. I think he was still asleep or something. Didn't say much. Bolts at the door. Amy and Jenny exchange a look. Bart slams his action figures together. Franklin stands on the porch knocking. Impatiently, he knocks again and starts to knock again, but the door opens. A young woman, 19, with black short hair that matches the heavy mascara around her eyes, wearing a t-shirt that reads, "What?" answers the door. Yes? Young woman. Franklin is caught a little off guard. Oh, hello, I'm sorry. Is Mr. Richardson in, please? She stares at him a beat and then slowly begins to cry. Franklin stands there awkwardly, sliding his hands into his pockets. After a moment, I'm sorry, Mr. Richardson. Uncle Pete passed away this morning. She begins crying again. Oh, I'm sorry too, Uncle Pete. Wasn't his name Bill? Not to us. Oh, I see. Okay, well, I'm sorry for your loss. I didn't mean to bother you. The woman is sobbing. She closes the door. Franklin stands there for a moment, then heads back home. Living room day. Just kind of. He's kind of like, I'm trying to picture the scene where he just like turns around and just like walks awkwardly back. Oversized sofa faces a large flat screen. Book on the coffee table sits on the coffee table. A book about coffee tables sits on the coffee table in front of the sofa along with more of Bart's action figures. It's kind of a writerly line. Like, I think it's not like a bad thing, but it's like a little bit distracting where it is like, most of the action lines are really good. These are great. But just a touch overwritten. Alright. So how did that go? He's dead! Amy comes flying into the room. What did you do? Franklin looks in there. He died earlier while we were at church. Wow. I know. She sat next to him, silence for a moment. Franklin's serious. You know what else? What? If he died today, the funeral will probably be what? Tuesday, Wednesday at the earliest? Uh-huh. It could be next week before anyone gets around to mowing the grass. Amy's jaw drops. You're unbelievable. What, do you want me to mow it for you? Want me to go mow it for you? Franklin thinks about it for a second. His face lights up. That would be... Amy looks at him. No. I'll do it. Shed day. Pours gas in the old push mower. Yanking and yanking the mower. After about a 10th pull, it finally starts. We see him sweating and mowing. The mower runs into a little flat dwarf with a blue coat and a red pointy hat. Knocks it over. Franklin looks around, sets it back up. He's cutting the grass by the house, looks in the window. The girl is staring back out at him. He jumps a mile. Franklin rounds the corner of the house, cutting the last strip of lawn. He's sweaty and out of breath. He kills the motor on the mower, looks at looks at his own yard, and smiles. Fine job, Mr. Richardson. Franklin jumps, turns. Mr. Richardson is standing behind him, leaning on a cane. Ah! Or ah!
I was like...
Sorry, my acting is... I was gonna get to it a little later, but I appreciate the help. Franklin stares at him for too long without saying anything, then, why aren't you dead? Pardon me? Franklin points to the house. The girl said you were dead. Franklin looks toward the house, sees the girl duck away from the window. Oh yeah, my niece, Penelope. She's a bit of a nutcake. Always making up stories and such. Studying to be an actress, but we love her anyway. Yeah, it's a bit long, but it's good. Page 10. Funny reveal. I don't know. I would almost want to keep the dialogue even shorter, like, during the reveal, because then it's, like, kind of slows down the punchiness, but that's just maybe personal preference. That's why you mowed my grass. Thought I was dead. Well, whatever the reason, I appreciate it. He's caught, can't really say anything. Franklin only managed Baron's giggle. Enough giggles. Yeah. It's hard with these needs to work out. It kind of works. Like I said, I appreciate it. Okay. Can I get you something to drink? No, I'm fine. Thanks. Franklin steps back and trips over a large rock. Careful, I put it there as a marker for old Betsy. Sweetest dog I ever had. Franklin scoots away as if he'd been standing directly on old Betsy's dead body. So old Betsy is gone about 2 months ago. I do miss her. Franklin thinks a minute. But the poop? Mr. Richardson shrugs. What am I going to do? Get in a fight over dog poop? Knew you'd figure it out sooner or later. Sure you don't want a drink? You look a little uneasy. No, thank you. Franklin enters the house, slides his shoes off, and sits on the sofa reading a book. So? I'm going to take a shower, I'm going to take a shower. Mr. Richardson isn't dead anymore, but his dog is. Amy looks at him strangely. The Spencer minivan pulls in the driveway. As they get out, Amy notices Franklin staring at something. She stops, looks, and sees Mr. Richardson's grass is once again slightly overgrown. Oh, I guess this is later. I'll just clarify. I just didn't realize it until a second later. You guys go on in. What are you going to do? Looks like Mr. Richardson might need his grass for his mower again. Yes. Amy watches as he walks. What's that? Gas for his mower again. Need grass for that mower.
Mower needs some grass.
Yeah, Amy watches as he walks away. Mr. Richardson's house. Stands on the porch, hand in a fist, ready to knock. He pauses, then just turns and walks away. Opens the door and steps out. From Mr. Richardson's POV, we see Franklin walking across the yard. His grass is freshly cut. Just as Franklin gets into the yard, a dog runs up and squats. Franklin tries to run it off, but it's too late. The deed is done. Franklin looks back and sees Mr. Richardson watching him. Franklin shrugs his shoulders in defeat, smiles, and gives Mr. Richardson a small wave and goes into his house. The end.
I liked it.
That? Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Great story. Good. Great story with a nice moral. Characters and loved humor and reveal. And then what else do you want to do for good, baby? Did you put some in there?
Well, pretty much right.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. And the other stuff, I think dialogue got a little clunky at times. Also, like the wife, it never really was like super resolved. Why, like they seemed much more antagonistic at times.
They could have just been like, you know, they're just like their routine. They've been together for a while. Just like stop. You know, maybe not as.
Maybe I was just reading it weird.
Or maybe it'll be improved now that
was this resolved? Was their conflict resolved? And also the moral tied in, but not as core to the story.
The moral meaning freedom,
or like like the Bible verse, like that sort of thing. It kind of seemed like.
Yeah, they just like threw it in. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was hoping that it would like somehow be about like freedom from. Maybe it is.
Maybe it's
from,
about
like,
freedom from
judging
having to like judge others, but that's more of a stretch a little bit. But cool.
Yeah.
All right, that's the first one. Any comments? Nothing. It's all good. We won't get our feelings hurt.
I will.
Yes, you will. Well, we can do the next one. Is this the scientist one? Trapped between death and rescue a slave? No. That will be last.
Hit something on Snapchat. Oh.
All the things.
Oh my gosh.
Don't panic. Okay. Because he races to stop spreading a plague. Do you want to do all the notes and stuff on this one?
No,
yeah,
you're good.
You can jump in.
No, I don't see him as well as you do. I like you to throw mine in.
Okay, sounds good. How great is that darkness? I think you'd do great. If you feel like it.
I think you're better.
I don't know about that. Alright, P1. Let me get a glass of water.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Give me your glass down here.
Yeah, let me just, I'll let you read the intro, and I'll get us both some water.
Yay. Okay. What do we have here? Whoops. I'm a noob. Okay.
Any thoughts on the intro?
As he races to stop the spreading plague that threatens to plunge the world into blindness and death, a brilliant but self-centered scientist discovers the darkness of his own heart. So far, so good?
Sounds good.
Interior, conference room.
Oh, sorry.
Day. Here we go.
Okay. You can just use the jug. Okay. Let's make sure that we're looking at the right thing. Ooh, we're still on Mr. Franklin. I'm glad we checked. Shazam. There we go.
Boom.
Okay. So we'll scroll back up. How great is that darkness? Erase. Okay, yeah. Okay, cool. Interior conference room day. The luxurious boardroom is furnished with huge mahogany conference table, stuffed leather chairs, the company logo, Mallory Pharmaceuticals, It's displayed over a wet bar set with scotch and cigars. So this is a good example of that intro being less poetical, but just as descriptive, right? Where like it doesn't have like middle management, blah 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 blah, but I kind of have a much clearer picture of like this decadent conference room, which is just like totally baller. On Adams. Dr. Adams, clad in an expensive suit with a lab coat over it, sits in a plush leather chair. He looks confident, poised. Male voice. Dr. Adams, everyone here knows your reputation. 3 world patients.
Patents.
3 world patents. I'm blind. I'm actually going to type in good. World-renowned researcher in viral epidemics. Noted author and lecturer, etc. Adams acts mildly interested and patient. We've been brought here because of your current research on viral neurological degeneration. There's a situation in South America unlike anything we have ever seen.
I give it the female voice.
Oh yeah.
There's a situation in South America unlike anything we've ever seen. A new virus that attacks the nervous system, beginning with the optic nerve, causing blindness, and it spreads to the motor nerves, resulting in paralysis.
Adam distractedly swirls his drinks.
The final stage, total neurological shutdown, brain death. We have no idea how to combat this. Thousands have already been infected. There are isolated cases in France and China, but no one knows what it is yet. Our projections show that in 15 to 24 months there will be sufficient cases to bring about worldwide awareness and probable panic.
And when the panic hits, yeah. There you go. That's a very good note. I was about to put that in myself. I was like, long dialogue chunks. This is the same for novels too. Even novels, you can get away with a little bit more because more classical novels that everybody's been forced to read in high school are bigger. They have like massive pages of dialogue, whereas more modern ones you'll see that they kind of mimic more real speech. But yeah, long dialogue chunks. And it's pretty much exposition. I mean, I think this scene could be probably shortened a lot, and we still kind of know there is a disease. Like, that's pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's cool that you have this like coming at the guy, like swirling his drink, and he's just like, "What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do?" But yeah, I think you can probably trim.
Cut it down, yeah.
Panic hits. The company has a cure. The company has a cure. It sounds to make a lot of money. So obviously the world needs my help. Why would I give it to you?
I don't understand where the voices are coming from.
I think they're like in a conference room. So he's like, yeah. It's like a pharmaceutical company. And then the camera's on Adam, and then Dr. Adams kind of had an expensive suit, and then these off-screen voices are like he's at the head of the conference room table, just like balling it up.
So they're like people asking him questions.
Yeah, like talking in the conference room. Let's just say our influence expands beyond us. So actually, what I think would be a cool way of doing this scene. This was actually one of the things I wrote in the Script Shadow article, which I thought was phenomenal. Would be to close on just like the glass of scotch. Getting like you start with that's the only image you talk about, and it's this glass of scotch, and then this talking's happening, and then you pull back to like this lab coat that's like turning the glass of scotch and like a pharmaceuticals napkin, and you're just like pulling out. So you can make that because the problem is if it's just exposition, there's not like a scene reveal. It's just like getting into context really fast, like doing something like, oh hey, like this decadent. Nice glass, and then kind of like getting that context in as you're like backing out can be like a cool way to like to get this same information across more dynamically. I mean, I think it works, like it's functional, but like usually like it makes something that you want, you don't want just fun. Like you want to try for even more. Like I think you probably did like this pretty good as it is, but I would really want to. Can we make this even more dynamic? And I think that's maybe this even more dynamic. Because I think you do the cool image of just like the focus on the guy and like all this other talking happening. But the problem is that's once we hit the cool image in the very beginning, it's static after that. The cool image is a good intro with the close on the doctor. Oops.
I agree. Like when we can see him, it like takes away from paying attention to like what they're saying. I feel like there's just like a glass and all these voices. You would like listen to the voices instead of just like staring at the dude and being like, "What's this dude doing? Why is he just sitting there?" And like, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I think usually if you're pulling out and like you have some sort of motion in the scene, you have this sense of a reveal. So you're like, what am I going to find?
Exactly.
What am I going to find?
Yeah.
And you kind of want to have that more dynamic flow, I guess. Shot of a tree in the jungle. Camera tilts up to see Adams hanging from a harness high in a tree, labored breathing, lifts himself up, pulling on the rope. Amazon rainforest, 2 months later. An ominous cracking noise from above. Okay. Oh yeah, sorry. So they offer him the Nobel Prize to like do it, and then he gets excited. Sorry, I
I know. I was like, wait,
jumped
what?
to the next. No, yeah, I sometimes skip to the next slugline because that's just how I get used to reading. So pretty much they're like, okay, let's just say our influence extends beyond Washington and the FDA. The person who discovers this cure will win the Nobel Prize. Looks up again, a grin spreads across his face. So that's good. I mean, it's good we actually know what he cares about. He doesn't just care about money. He cares about, like, legacy or prestige. That's, like, a pretty big...
He's kind of douchey, though.
Yeah. Any comments? What would you guys say for this? Let's see if we even have viewers. That's always a good check. Oh.
Live.
Oh. I think I hope it's not been playing in the background. That sometimes will happen. We'll see. I haven't heard my voice at all, so. No live viewers. It's all good. Yay, except us. Well, we'll have the tape. We usually get a few of those on YouTube. Anyways. Oops, wrong one. Good exercise. Okay, ominous barking, crackling noise. Adam freezes, then grabs for the trees. Adam falls, his hand scraping the bark. Rope gets tangled around another limb and violently stops his fall. Jungle noises resume, breathes a sigh of relief. Scanning the bark of the tree, he reaches for a handful. Suddenly, he stops moving. Something catches his eye. There you are. Tent door opens and Adam bursts in holding a sample jar full of fungus. Tommy, you only $25. Tommy sits at the table with his back to the camera. So you found it. Of course I found it. I said I would. Well, that's good, Doc. Real good, because Tommy turns, eyes bulge and bobble from their sockets. Their plastic glasses, eyeballs dangling from the strings. Tommy laughs out loud and moves toward the doctor. Adam stares back unfazed. You're an idiot, you know that, right? Let's get to work. Tommy, still laughing, tosses the glass on the table. The two of them move to the laboratory table. There are test tubes, microscopes, and other lab equipment. Okay, funny gag. It kind of expresses the character. What is this, page 3?
I do want to see, maybe it's coming, but I do want to see somebody here. Like, I want to see what this disease does. Like we haven't seen it in action.
Yeah.
So, I thought that maybe he would have, like, actually be, like, sick. And I would be like, oh, you need to hurry up and make the cure, you know? Because right now it's still just vague and out there. So it'd be good to, like, make it real. Maybe it's coming up.
Just a little tired. He quickly removes a glove and pours antiseptic over the...
Tired.
Knocks or breaker breaks.
I don't know from the microscope and does everything else. Oh yeah, maybe here he is getting sick.
If he cuts himself, there's a bead of blood coming to cut his glove.
Sorry, Doc, just a little tired.
Quickly removes a glove, pours antiseptic over the cut, applies a band-aid, puts on a new glove. For 18 hours, you're getting clumsy, and I can't afford that. Get some sleep. Tommy turns to the adjoining room where the cots are...
That's a lot of time.
Yeah. See, that's like your reader's reaction when they see a block like that. Doc, I think what we're doing is really great. I was at the hospital this morning and I saw 4 more patients coming in. One was a little boy, maybe 6. Look on the mother's face. I mean, what are we doing here? It's going to make a difference. Tommy, I don't think you're seeing the real picture here. Even if we find a cure, we aren't going to make a difference. You know why? This disease is here. Do you know why this disease is here and why diseases always strike places like this? It's the people. They're uneducated, poor, and the place is overpopulated. They're not like us. They have no initiative. They are never going to better themselves, and this is the majority of the world. Nature has a way of rebalancing itself. This same scenario will play again and again. About the only benefit here is that you are going to be well compensated, and I will finally get the Nobel Prize. Tommy turns, looks at Adams, he looks confused. Doc? Adam continues to peer into the microscope. Doc? Adams finally looks up at Tommy. What? Is that how you see what we're doing here? Adams stares coldly at Tommy for a moment, then returns to his microscope. Get some sleep, Tommy. It'll be done in a couple of hours. Tommy and Adams are in their cots. Light streams through the plastic windows in the tent. Tommy stirs and opens his eyes. Tommy's POV. Tommy looks up at the ceiling. His gaze is out of focus. He sits up, looks around. Vision is blurry, then comes in focus. He nervously looks at his finger and takes off the Band-Aid, slowly. What is revealed is an ugly infection. He covers it again with the Band-Aid. Dun, dun, dun. Partner gets sick, yay. Get some steaks.
It's like a zombie plague.
That'd be sweet. Yeah. 5, partner gets sick. Equals yay. Good conflict. It's weird. Some of the stuff is like stuff you've seen before, like when they pull up the patch, like in Gladiator, and it's like all worms and stuff, and like those are kind of like the similar, like I'm getting sick things, but I guess like you know, random vomiting is also like I guess one of those cliches, and like so I don't know what always the best way to communicate that is but maybe it's like giving specific symptoms. And like saying, you know, maybe that's just getting even more specific in that intro, right? It's like specific symptoms, and then also quick of death, like how fast he can die is good because it tells me the stakes, like and life expectancy can add a lot of uniqueness and urgency. Because I don't know if he's going to be sick for like 6 months and then the other guy's going to come a cure and then he's going to be fine. Or if it's like you have 3 days or else your friend dies. That's like a big difference as far as like the story's urgency. This is Tommy passing the beaker. Tommy grabs the beaker through the blurred vision. His hand shakes. He jerks his hand back and grabs it. Elbow hits a stand of empty test tubes. Adams immediately turns to Tommy. Tommy is standing with his head down and slowly lowers himself in the chair, still looking down. Doc, I'm so sorry. Adams somewhat impatiently. They're just test tubes. Get Dan to clean it up and go back to work. Hands trembling, Tommy removes protective goggles. His eyelids are swollen and red. His pupils have begun to cloud. Doc, I don't think I can. Adams' face changes from frustration to realization. No. He goes to a tent door and calls out. Yeah, I mean, like, the dialogue's good. A little cliche. I get the sense that's, like, the hardest part. Like, a lot of these are good stories, but it's just, like, hard to get really rock-solid dialogue. It's a little cliche. Good plot. But, yeah. It's tough. There's no way around it. Dan, bring around the Jeep now. Spots a box of surgical masks, hesitates, grabs one, puts them on, and rushes back to Tommy. I'm gonna be alright. It's gonna be alright, Tommy. We're gonna get you to Eva. Very nice slurring Tommy voice.
Switch, yeah. It's like
Stabilize you. You know how close we are to the cure. Doc, you know there's no time. Just take me to the hospital with everybody else. I know you'll find the cure. My best chance is here. Exterior, back of the Jeep.
Can you really talking that much if he was sick?
I don't know.
I just said, no time. Just take me to the hospital.
Yeah, because he's like using these one-line whispers. Yeah, I guess it's true. He's like, Doc, I'm so sorry. Doc, I think I can. Doc, do you know there's no time? Just take me to the hospital. Like we're covered enough. Yeah, that's a good spot.
Like, make full sentences.
Yeah, a full sentence.
Sick, we're gonna be like, no time. Get hospital. Get cure. Find the cure.
It is like 5-word like lines before.
Yeah.
I can't
and that could easily be
go on. Doc, you know there's no time. Just take me to the hospital with everybody else. I know you'll find the cure. My best chance is here. There's no more time. Yeah, it's my sales voice.
Hi there, it's Jeffrey.
Yeah, that's how I roll. Also, if we do have any viewers, I can't really tell, but yeah, feel free to jump on. Let us know your thoughts. And any feedback, comments, you name it. Alright. I've been thinking about our conversation last night. When you... Okay, moving the way, Tommy wrapped in a blanket lies on a stretcher in the back of the Jeep. Adam sits behind him. Dan, a leather-skinned guide and quick driver, is behind the wheel. Yeah, that's maybe my last one.
Mm-hmm.
I've been thinking about our conversation last night when you said these people, they're not like us. I guess I realized I'm not like you either. I had the freedom.
That much?
I guess he recovered once he got to the stretcher. I don't know. To pick any research assignment I wanted. I chose to come here because sometimes you use your freedom not to get, but to give. Yeah. That's. I mean, I know that's because the theme's freedom. That's probably where the verse is coming from. That's a bit philosophize-y. Page 6. Tom wearily closes his eyes. Adam frowns slightly from behind his mask. He slowly turns his head and looks out at the passing jungle. Dan, can't you go any faster? There's one large missionary hospital for patients with rows of beds. Adams and Dr. Ramon stand beside Tommy's bed. Do everything you can for him. My company will see that you are well paid for his special treatment. We are doing everything we can, which is basically nothing. We try to make them as comfortable as possible and then watch them as they die. No.
I like it.
It's Dr. Ramon.
Ramon?
I did a German accent, and how's that not cool?
Because you're from El Paso.
Yeah, well. But yeah, okay, so I would say that line seems a bit cliched because in that we watch them as they die seems a bit extreme. Yeah, I mean, I think the plot's pretty good, the story's moving, but I think the dialogue just needs a little bit of tender loving care. Mm-hmm. Adam turns to look. The beds are filled with dying patients of all ages, some crying, some praying, some dazed. Adam turns and walks out. And the actions are actually really good.
Yeah.
The action lines are great. Page 7, very descriptive.
Shoulder toe.
Great, but... Yeah, I know. I think we're cranking. Into hallway. Nurse Sosa. She's kind, angelic face. Please keep an eye on my friend. The good doctor in there seems to have given up, but I haven't. I'll find a cure. Nurse walks to them. She stops before. Of course I'll keep an eye on him. That's the choice we make. That's why we are here, to serve one another humbly in love. As she says, she's looking up at the scripture verse painted on the wall of the doorway, to serve one another humbly in love. Yeah. I get the sense, maybe it's just really hard, and I guess I'll find out if I try this competition. It's really hard to really bake in those.
I feel like a lot of these were something that was already they wanted to do, and then they just fit it around this verse.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not. I was thinking they would be more focused on the verse instead of just throwing it in. They're still interesting, but
fit the verse around.
Sounds like things that people wanted to write about.
A pre-baked. Well, if it's any consolation, I'm starting from scratch, so I'll figure out. I won't know what to write about until I get it, so. Yeah, maybe not. I mean, they give it to you the day of,
it's
but.
Still one, so maybe that's good enough.
Yeah.
And they're still good.
Yeah, they're all good.
I just thought they'd be more I guess some of them are more freedom focused.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of the freedom, but it seems. Maybe it's just they overstate it. I don't know. I'd be curious to see. Maybe it's just these are the selected winners.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe just the proctors are super hardcore, and they're no, unless it has it in there.
Yeah,
Yeah, because maybe some other people did it more ingrained in the story, and then they pulled these out and made them winners because of it. I don't know. Maybe. But that's just interesting. Research tent night. Montage. Adam works feverishly. Adam looks into a microscope. Writes notes. Scientific montage. It's a scientific montage. Comparing test tubes. Yeah.
Your scientific montage.
Interesting. Different colors.
Test tubes and beakers. And then my flask.
Pores.
Bubbles.
Smoke. The room is cluttered with beer bottles. I hope someone, just does a hardcore review of mine gets because I'm sure mine will have just as many problems. I mean, you write it in 7 days. You can't really edit that much.
Yeah.
Room is cluttered with empty beer bottles, scattered clothing. Jack Daniels sits behind him, jostles him awake, picks it up. Hello? Okay. Adam picks up the microphone and speaks. I think I'm really close to sympathizing the compound. He's tired now. It's in the centrifuge now. A couple more tests to be sure it's safe, but I'm so close. Shaking down, pours a cup of coffee. Dan? Is Dan his partner? No.
No. Dan was the guy who was driving the car.
Oh.
I think. He was like, hurry, Dan.
The hospital called and said you need to get down there. Adam turns quickly and bumps into a table as he moves towards the door. Says under his breath, no, it's too fast. I need more time. Did the doctors say anything else? Did they say why I must come now? No, at least I don't think so. You're useless. I'm so sorry, Mr. Adams. Jumps out of the door. Nurse Sosa. Into ward. She's been pulled over Tommy's head. Adam stands beside the bed, defeated, looks down at his motionless body. Oh, sorry. So he encounters the nurse. She says sorry. These are kind of similar scenes, though. Like, there's nothing like... This is kind of like the standard... Yeah, these scenes seem pretty...
It's like science montage. Hospital.
Yeah.
Lab. Hospital.
But even like the dying friend moment, like, we're sorry.
Mm-hmm. Everything we can.
Yeah, we've seen before. And I also don't know, like, how he discovered it. Like, he found some fungus, but there's not, like, the breakthrough. I kind of am, like, I'm more technical.
How did he know that fungus would work? Like.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I guess, yeah, I mean, but, like, I want to see him, like, because of his character change.
I want to see the randomized controlled trials, if you know what I'm saying.
Pharmacist in the house. No, but, you know, I'm almost curious to see how, because, like, the best character changes are, like, when I, the character, learn and grow, then I'm finally able to solve the problem. I want to be able to see how, because he learned and grew, he was only then able to solve the problem. Maybe that's different because it's more scientific or whatever, but yeah, I don't know. Okay. Looks down at motionless body. I'm sorry I failed. He turns wearily, because it just seems like he just put the work in and figured it out. It's just like, I worked hard, and like I was like, well, yeah, of course, like it's your job. It just was like, you just ran out of the clock. Like that was kind of the only thing that happened. Told you there was nothing we could do. There's nothing any of us can do. Faster than projected. You're out of time, Dr. Adams. We're all out of time. God, this Dr. Ramon is like pissed. Adam says nothing. We're all out of time. No, I'm not your monkey. I'm just kidding. No.
Yes.
It's true. I am. Dance, monkey, dance. Let's see. Okay, and then the Jeep swerves. Adam's POV, the road goes in and out of focus. Sideswiping a tree and continues on. The Jeep stumbles, skids to a halt. Okay. Adam says nothing and leaves the ward. Okay, his friend dies. Into hallway. Walks toward the door for the first time. Sees a scripture on the doorway. Realization comes across his face. There is still something I can do. Moving Jeep, night. Adam speeds down the jungle road. Road goes in and out of focus. Jeep swerves, sidesweeping a tree. Skids to a halt. Runs inside. Bursts in the door and goes directly to the centrifuge, which is stopped. Hand shaking. He grips the vial with both hands, places it on the table, and picks up the microscope with both hands. That's kind of just weird. You want to trim stuff like that.
Phone. Oh.
Oh, like the repetition of with both hands. I do page 10. Tommy's dead. The disease is spreading faster than we projected. I'm exhibiting symptoms of the disease. There's no time for tests. I'm injecting myself with the serum. It is in God's hands now. Struggles to fill the syringe with the vial. Vision is dimming.
Wait.
Oh, he got sick? When did he get sick? Did he inject himself? So I guess he's suddenly getting sick as well. But I don't know when that happened. If you're really there, it's up to you. There's nothing else I can do. Plunges the needle into his vein, looks around, and collapses on the floor. Tilts dims. Dan, I found him on the floor of his tent this morning, gripping a syringe. When I called Mallory, they said to skip the hospital and bring him back. Serum he injected himself with. He's still breathing. Below in the center of the screen gets brighter. Hazmat suits. I mean, this is very, like, scientific, like a little bit stereotypical.
Yeah.
I feel like I have your hangover. As they smile, they realize that Adam's serum has worked. So it works, Doc. You did it. It really does work. Yes, Dan. It seems we have it clear. Congratulations already to Mallory. He moves towards the front of the helicopter. Seems their investment paid off. Adam's face grows solemn. Let me congratulate you too, sir. I think you just won a Nobel Prize. Tears filled Dr. Adams' still swollen eyes. Dan, I have to turn around and go back. Wait a minute. You don't have to go back. You have done what you came to do. I brought everything the lab will need to make more serum. After all, you just came back from the dead. Besides, you have an acceptance speech to write. Funny how unimportant that seems to be right now, Dan. Tell him to turn around. Helicopter makes a graceful arc as they turn around to the jungle canopy. Blank page. So I guess like he wanted to get his friend's body or something? Or help more natives? I don't know.
Yeah, it's unclear. And he got sick in the first place. And was he finished with the cure, or was it just happened to work and then he finished?
I think he did the final test on himself.
He must have thought it was done.
Yeah, but well, I think it was like once it's done in the centrifuge, it's gonna go well. All right, let's do the summary and then we'll get some R&R. So the good, the action was really well written.
Action and lines in between.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These guys. Well, this was on point and forward moving. Dialogue needed some work.
That's not good.
Oh yeah, sorry, that's the. What else was good?
What else? Interesting. Fascinating. Yeah.
Some work got clunky or out of place.
And very long.
And very long. And very long. A few of the plot twists seemed a bit random, and the character change. Wasn't 100% clear to me. There you go.
A little bit cliche.
A little bit cliche. Sweet.
On the nose.
Yeah.
Yep.
Overall, great job, guys. Good scripts. Excited to continue to discuss and have more fun reviews in the future. Talk soon. Feel free, if you like the video, to follow or wherever, and then if you follow, to tune in. So, good hanging out, good chatting, and we will see you next time we do some editing.
Ta-ta.
TTFN.